What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo. Back at it again on Twitch this time. Of course, you're seeing chat, so Twitch and YouTube can say hi to each other. Of course, two very kind of kind and friendly communities here to communicate. But we're going to make sure that this video is focused on YouTube, so everything going on in chat, I'm not going to read it when we go into the game. I just wanted to show that I was recording this live. But this video is going to be made almost exclusively for YouTube, and it is going to be going over a game we went over on this channel, a game that everybody loves to talk about. Some are calling the game of the century, Liquid versus NAVI at IEM Katowice 2021. A game that on Inferno went into double overtime. Liquid were up 10-5 in the first half. Let it go to overtime, then double overtime, and then eventually close the map out. This is a map that needs to be dissected to its maximum, and also a map that allows us to not only talk about a really great map in a great series, but to talk about a player we've never talked about before. Where are my sloths at? We're here to talk about Mr. NAFI himself. 115 ADR Andy here on Inferno, 22 and 10 T side, with the OTs as well for the T sides. And something very interesting about this lineup is that the first thing I noticed as my own observation when Twist had left the team and you know, Fallen came in was that number one, Fallen isn't taking Twist's role over. So in on Inferno, specifically on T side, Twist, as we all know, is a Halls lurker. So who is now filling that position? From what I saw last time, and I don't remember what happened in the first half of this game, but it's been NAFI who has been doing the Halls lurk position, which was a specialty position for Twists. I think one of his hallmark positions on any of the maps in Liquid's pool since he joined the team. And something that he was really, really good at, working alone, working with hard angles, and getting kills in a very, very hard position, coming out of the balcony. It's just everything about this spot is very difficult. It's very demanding. It means you take a lot of nade damage, a lot of spams. You get countered sometimes. It takes a real mercenary to be able to master this kind of position. And like Squeaky on Cash, like Drop on Cobblestone, like Connector on Overpass, like these are positions that their roads often walked alone, and they don't offer a lot of praise up, and it takes a special kind of player to play them. And that was what was really cool about Twist, I think, is he's the player who's always been up for those kinds of things. But what was awesome about this was just the thought that, wait, this makes total sense. NAFI, he is this kind of player, but he was on a team with a player who was already like that. It feels like it makes perfect sense that he fits so well into these roles. So we look at NAFI recently, and he's had a pretty extraordinary Katowice, and in general, really, really strong performances overall. As you can see, you know, he's sporting nothing but positive ratings apart from a single map that everybody got destroyed on here on Dust 2, but they won the series. Positive ratings in the last 3 in total, not a single low map. And with all of these stats, still isn't even a top 10 player in Katowice, but obviously is a huge reason why Liquid have been able to win. A couple of these series are from the play-ins as well, where here versus Vitality and versus Navi was, you know, these are the two series that have gotten him through the upper bracket. So it's really cool to see NAF become a star on this team and be consistent in that role. And it could be, I mean, he was always core, but now it feels like sometimes he is just, you know, legitimately taking over the game along with Elige, along with Grim, which is just super sick to see. And if all of them are firing off, then there's no more questions about talent on this roster and inconsistency as being a problem. So let's look at the Canadian All-Star NAFI here on Inferno and check out what his role and looks like on the T side. And for the first time in my life, actually, just watch a NAFI demo just straight up. I don't know. It's just one of those players I just, you know, I like so much. I'm always thinking that I'm just going to watch one demo eventually and then something else pops up. But here's finally the opportunity. Let's go ahead and check out what NAFI did to NAVI that made it look so easy. And hopefully it is a game that where NAFLI is doing a lot of the halls lurking, so we can learn more about, you know, his role and place on the team. And there is also, if you want to try to cross-reference old Liquid, I did a twist demo on his halls lurk on this team a couple of months ago on the channel. So if you want to go back and watch that video, I'll remember to link that in the description below this video so we can take a look at that. So first things first, NAFLI says, I'm the halls lurker. Let's get out of halls. Boomich barely even looks at NAFLI, kills him on the way into halls, and he catches this timing as they try to exec. The trades comes through, though. Grim wins this duel, and we move on to a 1 round after, you know, really great refrags here from Grim. The unfortunate reality of going in first is that sometimes deaths like that will happen, but that's a nicely timed push by Boomich, I think, is one thing. And I'm just going to turn the game up for you guys because I feel like it might be very quiet here, as it's already quiet for me. And yes, this is exactly what we want to see. Taking over the halls with a UMP. He's got a teammate here to help him. And something I've noticed, I mean, Liquid have been doing on their T sides, I feel like they've been calling a lot more like mouse sports, in the sense that mouse sports are like to take over halls and banana almost simultaneously a lot of the time, and don't focus too many resources in one place or the other. You know, really quick to take over B, switch back to A, and I think that fluidity is what is how mouse sports at the time with Kerrigan were improving very, very rapidly. They pulled off a huge upset win on the map, 16-3, I think, versus Astralis at DreamHack Masters Winter Europe. And for Team Liquid, I think that kind of type of ferocity is what we also want to see. A team with very, very extremely high individual skill, right? And we look at mouse sports, it was like Rob's B-Mass Frozen, and utilizing that by allowing them to, you know, be quick, be aggressive, and not just play too super slow or super composed, which Alish has mentioned that this is something that they've wanted to try to incorporate a little bit slower on the defaults. But I personally feel like at first that wasn't looking too hot with Liquid, and now they've kind of found some happy medium. And I don't know what they would tell you as to you know, what has been the main reason. But here we already have a great round from NAFLI and Alish. He does a great job of covering his teammate. That's pretty much all he has to do. Run back and forth in pit like he has to pee his pants, and spray down everybody trying to kill the bomb planner. Because if they were coming at Alish knowing that if they killed Alish, they wouldn't be able to wait to put the bomb down, and then they would win off of time. But okay, pretty simple stuff. And another round here with an SMG. Once again, going towards the hall, this time solo. Okay, so, well, you know, when taking over solo halls, I want to basically just, you know, watch and learn. What is NAFLI trying to do? A couple of good halls players in this regard, Dupree, and now I guess NAFLI would be two styles that maybe would be worth checking out. Twist, of course, as well. Now that he's playing on phase, will be an interesting thing to watch. And you can expect that their styles they have all probably similar patterns in terms of the way they clear things out, the pace at which they move through halls, but maybe slight differences that might be interesting to look at. But you can see NAF is being pretty active, not shy about making footsteps here in halls, just focus on making sure that he's hitting like strong Honda peaks, getting the kill if he is peeking in somebody, not really lurking too much where he feels like he doesn't need to, instead just securing information, maybe scaring people a little bit from trying to come back into halls. And now we're in a spot where we're just going to, I guess, smoke off CT and hit the site. And honestly, I'm a little bit even less interested in what happens from this point on now that we're joining up for the B exec. This is where the round changes from a, you know, NAFLI default with his own protocols to just a regular straight on B exec. But here, everybody on NAVI falls down. Kills come out for Liquid, and we move on forward very clean again. This is a 10-5 half for Liquid overall. And we've got the halls clearing out action once again between Liquid, or between Alish and NAFLI. And now I think joining up for the double peak on halls maybe. No, it looks like he'll let Alish take the lead here. And there's nobody at the end of halls. So let's see how they work together. Pretty much anything is possible with the way that the map's being played. I think one thing that Liquid noticed in this game was that Navi, some days they don't feel like taking map control, and on those days you need to punish them, and it's honestly pretty easy to punish Navi for not taking map control. We see top teams do it. Here's, I think, a good example of a well-called half from Liquid, honestly, where they just constantly punished, and there's no re-aggressions here on Banana, it doesn't look like, so Liquid already done their due diligence. Top mid Banana, come back to halls, come back to lane, and now they're going to join up for the exec. So let's see what it looks like when NAFLI execs out of halls and has to find an entry frag. Flash off to the side of default. These are that's actually a very, very important kill that he gets there. And he trades pit as well. You know, these are the hard angles that you have to fight up against as a player coming out of halls. It's very uncomfortable, I would say. You just have to be a very good player, basically. If NAFLI doesn't get one of these 2 kills out of halls, they probably don't win the round. And even if he gets 1, they probably have a pretty good chance. So that's how hard it can be sometimes to just manufacture that first kill. He doesn't come through with a lurk smoke at all. He's just throwing a flash off to the side of default. Peeking out for the trade, takes one kind of strong peek onto the site. And that was a moment where he could have got shot from the side and pit. But, you know, once in a while you're going to die to those timings. We'll probably see in this half a moment where NAFLI tries to take a peek out of the halls and just gets shot on the side, because that's just the life of a halls lurker. Okay, something a little bit different now. He's with the pack. Let's see what Liquid wanted to do on this round. He's not going halls here, even though he's got a teammate going halls, which is pretty interesting. It might be some kind of anti-eco with a late halls take. It looks like a pistol, or no, it's just an MP9 on Boomich, of course. Running down Banana. Still could be a full buy potentially, I guess. No idea what's going to happen. We get the flash over Boiler for Unleash to peek. This flash is over top of the porch and blinds an Opera sitting on the corner, and anybody sitting potentially on the balcony. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's the same flash I literally learned yesterday, but it should blind basically everybody at lane, so you can go and clear things out. And okay, a little bit of versatility in the position. NAFLI is now joining up on lane, so we get 2 kind of POVs on a similar A take. This time Unleash coming out of the halls, it looks like. And NAFLI somehow surmises this entry onto Electronic. Like a critical refrag. Brings it into the 2-on-2. It might be a difficult plan here. It looks like they're a bit concerned about the op. And my god. Simple doesn't know what hits him. Dead inside of library. No chance to shoot back. Wall banged in the head. And now NAF can pick up the bomb plant. We've got the mini pit defense. This is going to be a hard one to break through. Unlikely round here from Navi. NAF goes high. No one pushing through. And NAF, I guess we've got Unleash pinging what he's watching, basically. Sorry, I'm not even sure if this is Unleash. I think assumed, yeah. Who came out of halls, who also survived on this round. So a couple of crazy shots brings this into fruition, and the round is done. Perfecto's dead as well. Another big round by NAFLI. 2 rounds, I can say, that without his entries, it probably would have been Navi overtaking in terms of kills. In tough spots, in very tough spots. Early info here on lane. NAFLI immediately moves into the apartments. Molly down on long haul means whatever it means. They haven't found the op on simple, so I think it's the one thing they're worried about. And what we've seen so far is Elige just peeks first before NAFLI from that side, which I think makes a lot of sense. You know, if Elige peeks on that side, the op is holding on the left, then Elige can maybe get the info and not have NAFLI die in a situation like that. And now that they've successfully cleared it out, this is like the pain point of the rounds. Getting into the boiler angle, clearing out lane, making sure the op is basically not here to kill them. Now you can see they move a lot more freely and start to really lay on the pressure thick. But back to Banana we go. And now, is there an opportunity for NAFLI? Oh, that's a better lineup than I use. Is there a better opportunity for NAFLI to lurk out of B hall? So he throws a lurk smoke, doesn't use it. And one thing we're noticing is not actually using the lurk. I don't think we're seeing the lurk smoke to actually get out of halls. Only when they're not actually using it. And now it's a 1-on-5 situation as Boomich really just lays down the thunder. Top of Banana. From the sandbags, I remember this actually. Really great round from Boomich. No way they win without him, and nothing here for NAFLI to do. But it's Bit who steals the ace, so that's enough to tilt Navi. We're gonna start now winning more rounds, I think, here for Team Liquid. Top mid pressure with... they actually don't have great grenades. We've only got... sorry, great guns or anything. We've only got one AK, it looks like, on NAFI. Nobody else has much to work with. They tried to pop up through mid. Didn't see anything. I think the past few rounds, Navi have been quite timid. Not showing any aggressive defense. Bit gets shut down. Which kind of opens up the round, actually. I mean, it's a bit scarier. They lost the lane defender. That's kind of a nice kill to get. They're still threatening Arch here. There might be a little bit light on the A site. We've got 3 players on AKs. Okay, but Simple's now, you know, rotated over, it looks like, over in the pit. And I guess now time is limited. 50 seconds. Simple gets a kill. Flash comes out from lane. And now NAFI, what's he to do, man? Probably just save. This beautiful AK, this beautiful knife. He'll take it and run. And we're on to a P250. Wow, people are just throwing skins at him like he's a streamer this game. They just want him to, like, yo, check this AK out. Please win this round for us. He is smurfing and face it at the moment. But on these solo AK rounds, it looks like there's not a lot to do. The pistols are dying. No entries come out. He's not first out with the AK. And eventually they lose the round as well. So the game becomes a little bit closer after this amazing round from Boomich. And we're off into basically Tech 9s again, what is essentially a double save. And I think NAFI's here to basically just sell any kind of fake he can. But not using too many resources towards it. Instead, saves his smoke all the way here for a late Moto smoke. Let's see if it makes a difference. I don't think that Liquid win this round, but they've got it down to 3v3. And maybe this will be an instructive moment to talk about how delaying utility usage can actually benefit you. Well, they're upgrading guns. We've got the quad molly here. And the reload into the site. We see not wasting any time. Not trying to deter the spacing at all. Jumping out while reloading. And now they're just going to hope that Fallen doesn't get spammed through the smoke. And he gets the bomb down successfully. And listen, this is not a lost position for Liquid by any means. I think this is a... If we get an early peek into CT, you know, you get a kill here. NAFI could win his duel. I think this just comes down to the Opper. That's probably going to come clear of this if there is one. Oh, rifle first. And NAF almost gets 2. And you got to love that. Elige actually just swings out to try to end the round early. Boomich goes high. Sorry, Bit goes high. Changes position and dies to Elige. Very confidently played by Elige to get that peek out. Early damage in. It's ultimately the headshot that wins. But you got to love that confidence. Sometimes you don't want to let the round come to you. It definitely feels like in 2021 CS, a huge thing is just timings. You know, you want to, instead of just holding the optimal angle and waiting and playing the 1v1 out perfectly, you're trying to find that moment where they're tapping the bomb, the moment where they're thinking about where you're going to be, and where the moment where they're thinking about using utility usage. That's really where you've got to find your edge and making your opponents uncomfortable. Again, supportive grenades, you know, 3rd, 4th in for these hits. Solo entry out of halls when it's an A hit. Over on B here just to refrag most of the time. Finds Perfecto in the front of quad, actually. Which is a funny place to be for Perfecto. But he gets sussed out. There's only so many spots that he could be sitting in. And of course his objective is to try to delay, if possible, sitting in quad in that way, right? He's like, I don't care if they never find me. Or I don't care if they do find me as long as it takes as long as possible. I could swing out and try to get a kill, but if I die right away, then they can plant right away. They can get comfortable right away. And so, you know, I think the price tag on delaying is much higher than the value of getting a kill in like a, you know, 1v4 on the B side situation. Delaying is really really enormous on Inferno because the rotations can sometimes feel not necessarily long, but they can feel difficult. And let's say let's say you die on the B side early, then suddenly people are jumping up on oranges, looking over the CT smoke, looking back into CT spawn. That's the kind of reason you want to stay alive on B, so that people can't do plays like that. Because once people start jumping up on, you know, first oranges looking into CT spawn, then your rotation, even if the actual distance is not much farther, the rotation feels much longer because you've got to work harder to get back into the site. Clear out construction. Clear out first oranges. Not die in these spots. But okay. Another round ends on A, and it's pretty simple stuff. NAFLI doesn't have to do a lot here. He gets a singular kill. They refrag on mid. And he gets rid of the evidence. Round 10 over and done with. On to 11. And it looks like a, more standard go of it. Back to halls. Playing it slow. He's a sloth, but he's adapting well. He's adapting well. Looks very comfortable. Obviously, a huge impact already in this half. And again, I mean, one of the harder positions in the game. At least I think so. I don't know. I find halls to be, pretty uncomfortable. I think I like going here, but it can be hard to win your fights sometimes. And it feels like you're such a pest that the other team sometimes, they know you're alone. They're just trying to dedicate some early round resources to try to kill you. A flash peek. People aren't doing that as much anymore, but some kind of peek like we saw in the pistol round from Boomich. But I think, when Navi are not playing that well, like I don't think they were playing that well today, on this day, they aren't putting a lot of pressure. And giving up all this space allowed Liquid to move along with their game plan a little bit too well. See if Navi puts some more pressure on halls, try to kill NAFLI or get some damage in. The amount of entries they would have stopped. Yeah. Always, don't be shy, especially when someone knows you're in a default somewhere. Remember, like, you can be quiet and wait for that incognito kill, but you never know what kind of damage you're going to get off of a spam. Trying to just shoot your shot in that sense, like shooting through smokes, anything like that. Like, if they know you're in halls, they know you're in a certain spot, don't pretend like they don't. Just try to apply some pressure. A lot of important damage comes out of smoke spams and wall bangs in Counter-Strike. And that's true at every level. Guaranteed. I mean, a big reason why one team might be better than another or win a game over another is because of the damage that they get, unconfirmed damage through smoke spams or wall bangs. It is important to, like, you could call it RNG, but the counter to that is to spam more, Give yourself more chances. And also, it discourages people from taking random pushes and things like that in the future as well. You put a lot of pressure on, then suddenly they're very uncomfortable with the idea of, like, oh, let's try to take over a little bit of map control here. And, oh, what if I get spammed or dinked? What if they are holding and he's always here? That kind of thing. So, all right. New angle for NAFLI as he waits for the boiler push to come in. No other pressure here in the halls. He's not throwing any other grenades. Again, we've got 0 rounds where he actually throws lurk smoke and walks out. Key here is to try to be as creative as possible, because the idea is you just don't want your opponents to know exactly what you're doing. If you're spamming a lot and then suddenly you go dead silent, are you still there? Are you not? If you do something new every round, then it's very hard for the other team to get any idea of, like, your conditioning or whatever. And so for NAFLI, just, kind of being creative about different angles he takes, positions, timings, thinking about what kind of counters they're going to try to bring to him. Maybe he thought, oh, I've been going through long haul the standard way, spamming the standard way. What if they try to do a boiler attack? Or they've done this before, I've seen it in a demo. What if they try to do a boiler attack? What is the angle I want to hold for that to try to get one step ahead of them? And that's in practicing prophylaxis, which I've talked about many times. Another kind of chess term that I think is really applicable to CS. Is thinking about what your next, your opponent's next attack is going to be, especially in a spot where you haven't been punished once, right? Because eventually they're going to catch on. Oh, we need to make some kind of adjustment here, and in 3-on-4 we need to take a little bit of an aggressive move, I think. So you can see NAFLI, he's thinking about peeking CT. I think this makes a lot of sense, but it's going to be on a timing probably. Yeah, there he finds that kill, activates the trap, but Perfecto Simple. They're a little bit better. Refrags for both. Back to halls again as we wrap up the half and get to the bottom of what NAFLI's T side looks like here on Inferno. I think he continued on to have a good... Oh, wow. Well, he's just 1 bullets in from that side. See, that's... Wow. So, from Simple's POV, could look like he could have been holding for that side. But this is kind of a game you have to play versus the Opper, because sometimes an Opper is going to hold the corner shallow. Sometimes they're going to hold it on the right side. Simple's the kind of opera to, you know, not play timidly, to hold and keep everything in full view and just trust that it'll hit the flick. And he did take a shot at a leash, but instant one bullet there. And now the round is open up in a big way. They finally try to attack him, but it's a little bit too late, right? In the half, we're already 9-4. We have seen zero pressure from Navi inside of the halls. The only times they tried it was the pistol round, and this round was simple. And another entry comes out, and just, yeah, bad goes to worse. They just cannot stop Liquid once they get all of this control. This is not a very strong half from Navi, from the perspective of looking for, you know, it's not been an arduous journey here for NAFLI at all. He can't keep getting away with this, is what I'm trying to say. And will he? One more round. You can see he's being extra careful now. Try to find the timing. Going for the prophylactic spam, okay, to deny the Hall's push. Or an Opera that might be standing there looking for a time. He's got a leash coming up on that same position. He keeps clearing it out from that side. And he's never the first one to peek in this spot. Nobody to find here in the halls. It's been vacant this entire time. Everybody's been evicted. It's an abandoned apartment, sadly. It's got no love. And then, yeah, why? Look at the amount of map control Liquid are constantly getting, A or B. Don't do... Oh! What a bad person you are, NAFLI. What a bad person. Oh my god, finally, the doubles halls push. Watch Navi win this round. They get NAFLI, they kill him in the halls, they're going towards A. Finally, our man NAFLI, he dies. We've got 2 coming in for the attack to replace him. You need 2 players to make up for NAFLI's presence in the halls. Finally, Navi find the timing. Take some of this round into their own hands. Put some pressure on the halls. Electronic, he's alive in the pit. They can't kill... Dude, you need NAFLI, man. Electronic gets 3. NAFLI would have killed Bit too. Alicia's all they got going for them, but no time to plant. They try to pull this out. Simple gets the kill. Round over. That's it, man. Get some map control, why don't you? Get some map control. That was a good demo. A little bit disappointed with Navi and like how little pressure they applied anywhere on the map in that game. Really great from NAFLI, of course. Like, just looked good, and you could see the impact. I think the contrast with the with the last round as well, where he died and things just fell apart. That's what it looked like. That half would have gone nowhere without his entries. So huge impact in these games. Great ratings overall. And again, in a lot of these matches. And yeah, not much to say except for looks like a solid fit. So that's it for another Coach Lau Live. I'm going to upload this tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, but I am live 24 hours a day, twitch.tv/launders. And yeah, damn, it feels good to be a NAFer. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you again for another video soon.